Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here today. This is a big day for the Mount Vernon Fire Department. Going to celebrate quite a few milestones this morning, and so I just want to thank you all for being here. I just want to take the time to recognize some council members that came today: Mark Holst, Richard Brocksmith, thank you, and of course Mayor Boudreau, who's going to be here to swear in some of our new hires here later this morning. And with that, I'd like to get started with Captain David Story. If he would like to bring himself up here. Where are you hiding? There you are, right there. Great. Right over here, bud. Right over here. So I got a chance to sit down and talk to David for a while the other day, and I figured I better write some things down because I'm getting older and I can't wing these things and remember everything so well. And so I got some things to share about David, and one of the things is that when I got hired here, I never knew that I was going to be working with somebody famous, because I think he looks just like Dana Carvey. Maybe not so much now with the mustache, but he was a solid resemblance when I got hired here. I was for sure it was David Carvey. But anyways, David was part of a group that got hired here back in 1993. And in that time in Mount Vernon's history, that was the largest single hiring that we've had in our agency for the City of Mount Vernon Fire Department. And a couple of those people are here today. Eric Tyree, standing back there in the back. Chris Christensen, I saw him earlier. There he is back there. I don't know if Mike Hammer is here. Skilbeck's not here. There's a few other people right here that aren't here. But anyways, between Eric and Chris and David, that's over 90 years of fire service history right here in the Mount Vernon Fire Department. So thank you guys for sticking around this long. I'm not sure how much longer we can count on them. Okay, so David got hired back here in 1993 in July. And like a lot of us back then in that time frame, he kind of came to us the same way as all of us did back then. And he was a California kid. He moved up to Washington and started his career in the fire service with a degree in fire science, and started out with Mercer Island as a volunteer and worked there for 3.5 years before coming aboard here in Mount Vernon Fire Department. David's first shift assignment was with C Shift with Captain Denny Ness, who is here today. And I don't know if retired Battalion Chief Terry Hill is here, but he was a lieutenant at the time. And Ted Nelson moved over to C Shift shortly after that. Through the years, I think David worked on every shift. I don't know if Captain Howard, did he make it on your shift? Okay, I'll tell you what, if you made it on the B shift when Captain Howard was here, then you'd made a name for yourself. I think I got 1 year on Captain Howard's shift, and then he booted me off. So that tells you a little bit about me. Anyhow, David, he's been on every shift in this department, and he's been here quite a long time. And he made his way to lieutenant in 2020, and shortly to captain after that, and then made the leap to battalion chief not too long after that. And to finish out Dave's career, he wanted to step back down to captain, and because I think he still had some more things that he really wanted to share with the new hires that we were having and the crews that were coming on, and we appreciated that and honored that. Over the span of the 30 years, we've grown to know David as a guy who wears his emotions on his sleeve. If you don't know David, you know what you're going to get from him just based on how he's feeling that day. And we know that about him, and that's probably one of the reasons we like and love him so much. And a lot of people wonder why. Why are a lot of firefighters that way, firefighters, paramedics that way? And it's because we care, and David truly, genuinely cares about the job that he does, the people he works with, and the community he serves. Some examples of some of the things that David has championed over his career in our department was Fill the Boot for MDA. For many years, Dave coordinated that for our department. Operation Warm Coat was a program to get coats for kids that couldn't afford them in school. Breast cancer awareness. We raised money. He coordinated that with the hospital in the selling of t-shirts to raise money for breast cancer awareness. And Dave is also the lead instructor for the Northwest Career Technical Academy Fight Program. For those of you that don't know, it's a high school program across the street at the college where kids can get introduced to fire and EMS services and hopefully set them on a career path and further education into eventually getting a job and a career in fire and EMS service. And you've been doing that for five or 6 years? I think it's 8. I lose track. If you ask David about his job, he'll tell you it's about the people he works with. And that's why he really loves this job. It's getting to know the people that he works with, knowing their families, knowing their kids. He could probably tell you their names, when they're going to school, when they graduated school. I think that's the most important thing, the most fun thing for David over his career. If you talk to him more about the fire service, he'll tell you he got lucky. He got lucky falling into this career. And in my opinion, I think we got lucky landing Dave here in this department through this career. And so with that, David.
So just to add to that piece, and I had Brian kind of lead that. Brian's been here, worked a lot longer with David, could recognize some of the folks that had worked with him over their careers. But I just want to add a couple of things to that. Is when I started here 7 years ago, I think Dave was probably the first person that came up and had a conversation, and we had that connection from the California piece, so we talked a lot about California. But Brian hit on a couple of key things that I just wanted to highlight about Dave. One, his passion, and I think that's going to be missed the most within the department. Not just for the folks that worked here, but the community is served. It showed every day. Every day he came to work. Hang on, we got to dump some trash real quick. Don't worry, they'll do yard work here in about another 5 minutes, so it just kind of usually works out that way. But that passion piece. And then I think he rounded out that career showing how much he cared about the people that were here by asking for that demotion from battalion chief. He wanted to be back on the floor. He wanted to be able to take some time to mentor the new folks we were hiring, to share all of that 30 years worth of wisdom. And I think that takes a tremendous person to do that, because that's not typically done in the fire service. And for him to look at that and say, this is how I want to end my career, helping those that are just starting theirs, I think that's a true testament to who he is as a person. So again, thank you, David, for all of your 30 years.
I just want to...
You don't get to just talk.
No, you go and then I'll give you that.
Okay. As you know, I'm not really a man of few words. So, I'll touch on a lot of things Brian said. It is a lot about the people and everything here, and there's a couple people in particular. Chief Hofstede, just saw him. There he is. So, 1993, he had a vision, build another station, training tower. They did like a nationwide search for the bravest, most handsome firefighters. They got 5 of them, plus me. So, Chris and Eric. How come I can't? You know, we went to the academy together, and I don't know, you guys are, I came up, as Brian said, from California, so I didn't have any family up here, just my wife and then kids, so this is awesome. So really, my family up here. So thank you, Chief Hofstede, for having that vision, improving our department, making it bigger. And I do want to mention about the people here. Chief Harris kind of mentioned this. There's a lot of people that have come and gone out of our fire department, and they've left for greener pastures, more pay, 3-man engine companies, rescue teams, and I will say every one of them say they miss the people here. And I'm saying every single one of them miss the people here. And that is super important. Not just in the fire service, in a fire department, but in this city as a whole. I remember when our HR director left for another job, she's crying like, I don't know why I'm crying, because I'm going to this bigger, better place. But, you know, she was sad to leave everybody here. And I don't know what it's like to work at a lot of departments, but I feel like, I don't know, I'm friends with these people that I think if I worked at another department, I would never meet these people. Whether they're council members or the mayor or department heads or police chiefs. I don't know. I see them, I feel like we're all friends with each other. So, and I will say the city generally feels like it cares about people. There are jobs nowadays where people work 2 to 3 years and their employer's like, that's good, and they move on, but I don't think that's here. And I look at how many people that have worked over 30 years. Todd Dean, Chris Cammett, Sandy, are you here? Ken Scott. I think in 1993, I think Ken Scott was celebrating his 30th year here, and he's still here. So, Mike Marker, I don't know, he's probably been here 50 years. So, I feel like I don't know, I could have done 20 more. The mayor writes twice a year, birthday and anniversaries, hand writes cards for all the employees. That is awesome, you know? Not a quick email, like hand writes on paper. So, also, legends here in the fire department, Terry Hill, Mike Thompson, over 40 years. I don't know. And then Chris and Eric now have, every day they're going to be a day ahead of me still. So, again, Parks Department, Sean, Andy, Jason, Sandy, IT, all these people, I have counted on them so many times, because to make a city work, to provide service, which we all are to our citizens, our public service, it takes a whole team. So, one special person in the fire department is Christine. I tell ya, I am not real bright in a lot of ways. Christine, man, whether it's finance, IT, any kind of organization, I don't know. Tying my shoes, Christine she's been there for 20 years, always helping out. She did pub ed before we hired Ricardo, just constantly. She made this cake that wraps up everything on how special she is to me. So, and one, can I have who's here with PD? Chris, Mike? Come on up. All three of you guys. So, I want to just say, every call we go on,
I've got stories about sexual.
Every call we go on, PD is there, either watching our back or leading us. Like I said, I have friends in fire up and down the coast. None of them work with the police department like we do. Chief here, Chief Dodd, Chief Bergsma, way back. It's just been spectacular. The 26th Street Station, when did that open? 25 years ago? The cops, the outreach program, they're decades ahead of everybody else. I would say 90% of the CPR calls I've been on, PD is there first, doing spectacular CPR. So, I just wanted to give this to them for their squad room. Not only to remind them of the better, that it could have been in fire, but just to let everyone know that we're watching you too. I carried this spry young man across the finish line of a Tough Mudder.
That's kind of the way the story
Kind of way. So, honestly, you guys are, we call brothers in blue, brothers and sisters in blue. And that whole corner back there, they were the old guys when I got hired here. And now this group have done another hole.
We won't go into the Tough Mudder story, but I do want to commend you on being the first outreach specialist in the city of Mount Vernon. They not only let people sleep in his vehicle, he drove them from one station to another, and then allowed them to wander freely down the city.
Fun memory.
That's so amazing.
Okay, in appreciation of Dave's service, we'd like to present him with this plaque in his honor for his 30 years of service to the Mount Vernon Fire Department.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome. Want to run for the mayor? Mayor's got something for you too.
Okay.
And Mayor Jill has something for David as well from the city.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for coming out today to honor Dave and then the next portion as well, the new folks coming in. A lot of you know that I worked at the police department starting in 2002, and Dave was one of the folks that I got to know being a community service officer, and what he expressed about knowing it takes a whole team, that's something I learned from Dave. He would come over, he would talk to the police, he would get parks involved, social work, all of that. That's so true. And it's so important that we in public service understand the whole comprehensive services that go into making a city safe and enjoyable and amazing to live in, that it takes all of us and all the disciplines that the city employs. So Dave, thank you for that. I have this is a block print, original block print by one of our local artists, symbolizing a gift from the city itself. So on the back, it says, "Congratulations on 30 years of distinguished service to the city of Mount Vernon. On behalf of a grateful city, we wish you all the best in the future." So, thanks, Dave. Thank you. Awesome partner.
You want to take? Okay, I have a box for that for you later if you want. Okay. All right. Moving right along. With the retirement of one comes the promotion of another. Captain Mike Schwab, please step forward. And I have a seat right here. This promotional process was a tough process, which I say happily because that means we have a lot of very qualified personnel working for us, moving up in the fire department, who are becoming well-seasoned, well-educated people to lead our organization into the future. Because someday we're not going to be here, and we need these folks to take the reins and move us forward. Mike is definitely one of those people, having been here just a little over 6 years. He has stepped into this role full speed ahead. There's so many additional duties that he does for us. Using his logistics background, establishing logistics programs. He started venturing into state mobilizations, and it's that kind of dedication and leadership to emergency management, fire service, EMS that we look for, and we're pleased and happy to have him be part of our company officer group within our organization. And with that, I thank you, Mike, and we'll have Mayor Jill Boudreau read the oath, and then after that, you can bring up who you'd like to have pin you.
All right. Hi. Are you ready? Yeah. All right. I'm going to have you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Michael Schwab,
I, Michael Schwab,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the state of Washington,
of the state of Washington,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
the duties of the office of captain
the duties of the office of captain
for the city of Mount Vernon,
for the city of Mount Vernon,
in and for the county of Skagit,
in and for the county of Skagit,
state of Washington,
state of Washington,
according to law,
according to law,
to the best of my ability and understanding.
to the best of my ability and understanding.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Okay, so we've been fairly busy hiring folks here lately, in case you haven't noticed. So I would like to bring up Siobhan. Come on up, Siobhan. And Siobhan's actually been here with us for a little over a year, and almost a year. And it's been really interesting trying to keep track of all the people that we're hiring and with the remodels of the stations, and then finally having time to get all of this together. But Siobhan has been doing outstanding for us, and she really just hit the ground running. She did great at the Fire Academy, and she's just been nailing it here for us at the Fire Department. We're so happy to have her here, and we'd like to swear her in as one of the newer paramedic firefighters for the Mount Vernon Fire Department.
Hi, Siobhan. Hi. I'm glad we could do this finally. So welcome. All right. I'll have you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Siobhan Gallagher,
I, Siobhan Gallagher,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the state of Washington,
of the state of Washington,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
firefighter paramedic
firefighter paramedic
for the city of Mount Vernon,
for the city of Mount Vernon,
in and for the county of Skagit,
in and for the county of Skagit,
state of Washington,
state of Washington,
according to law,
according to law,
to the best of my ability and understanding.
to the best of my ability and understanding.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, good job. All right. With Mike being promoted, we needed to replace a firefighter, so it's Max Champier. Come on up. Oh, he's doing everything. Oh, in that order. Thank you, Max. Max came to us from a volunteer organization down in Snohomish County, and him and the next two folks that we're going to swear in here are fresh right out of the academy, and they just started shift a little over a week ago. So which they're really excited for that to be off days. And with that, we'll have Mayor swear you in.
All right. Hi, Max.
Hi.
All right, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Max Champier,
I, Max Champier,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the state of Washington,
of the state of Washington,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of firefighter EMT
of firefighter EMT
for the city of Mount Vernon,
for the city of Mount Vernon,
in and for the county of Skagit,
in and for the county of Skagit,
state of Washington,
state of Washington,
according to law,
according to law,
to the best of my ability and understanding.
to the best of my ability and understanding.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Next, may I have Eric Brooks. Come on down. Thank you. Eric is originally from California, went to paramedic school down there, and worked for another organization in Mount Vernon for a little, or not Mount Vernon, in Washington for a little while before coming to us in Mount Vernon, and we're very happy to have him here.
All right. Raise your right hand. I, Eric Brooks,
I, Eric Brooks,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the State of Washington,
of the State of Washington,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
firefighter paramedic
firefighter paramedic
for the City of Mount Vernon,
the City of Mount Vernon,
in and for the County of Skagit,
in for the County of Skagit,
State of Washington,
State of Washington,
according to law,
according to law,
to the best of my ability and understanding.
to the best of my ability and understanding.
Congratulations.
Okay, Garrett, right this way. Garrett came to us from Whatcom County, and he was the last of the three that went to the academy together. And again, these guys have been working really hard, putting in the effort, and we're really grateful to have him here and have him on shift, as I know the rest of the guys are. And with that, we'll have Mayor swear you in.
All right. Hi, Garrett. All right. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Garrett Weekly,
I, Garrett Weekly,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the State of Washington,
of the State of Washington,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of firefighter paramedic
of firefighter paramedic
for the City of Mount Vernon,
for the City of Mount Vernon,
in and for the County of Skagit,
in and for the County of Skagit,
State of Washington,
State of Washington,
according to law,
according to law,
to the best of my ability and understanding.
to the best of my ability and understanding.
Congratulations.
you.
Welcome.
Okay, well, thank you very much. That is all for the formality of the ceremonies today. Please feel free to stick around, enjoy some cake and some other goodies over there, share stories and whatnot. We'll keep the bay open for as long as we need to. And for somebody who said they would do 20 more years, he's out of his uniform already. I just want to point that out. He's already a civilian and we're not even done. All right. Thank you all very much. I look forward to getting to mingle with all of you here soon.